I gotta complain. I gotta complain.
Comparison.
Look at this.
In
Look at
today's
this.
episode, we're going to take a look at Ballistic Moon's recently released remake of Until Dawn.
A game that did not need a remake, by the way. It was a good. Like, there's nothing wrong with Until Dawn. Why would you release a remake of Until Dawn? The only reason you should do a remake of Until Dawn is to like flesh out some of the routes more. They're still pretty janky. The menus are pretty janky. Oh, okay.
And see how it compares to the original 2015 release of the game on the PlayStation 4. For reference, I'll be discussing both the PlayStation 5 and PC versions of the remake, and discussing how it compares to the PlayStation 4 version while it's running on the PlayStation 5.
Why?
The
Why
original
change
2015
anything?
release of the game on PS4
Why did you change
run
anything?
at a locked 30 frames per second, at a native 1080p resolution. But on the PlayStation 5, that same release of the game runs at an unlocked frame rate, hitting upwards of 60 frames per second most of the time, providing a smoother presentation. The latest PS5 remake, on the other hand, has been reworked using Unreal Engine 5.
Pizza Man, thank you for the 5.
With a higher base resolution, but a locked 30 frames per second, and remarkably, no option to choose any sort of performance mode either. Meanwhile, the PC release does support native 4K, along with your typical AI-driven upscaling solution like DLSS, frame generation, FSR, and the like. And therefore, in theory, it can hit much higher frame rates. For this reason, the PC...
1,000,001 different ways to make the game look like shit. Everyone, thank you. They always change things for remakes these days. Not sure why. I don't know why they do this.
The ideal way to play the latest remake. Though it does come with
its something happened to your account, bro.
Own set of issues as well, including some broken shadow rendering, pop-in, inconsistent frame pacing, and some minor stuttering. But today, we're going to focus more on the artistic changes made with the remake, especially in how the characters, the environments, and the general story pacing of the experience have been altered. So let's kick this comparison off by first taking a look at the character models.
Like, yeah, it's like a technical upgrade. But like, why? Like, it was not necessary.
As this is a more story-driven...
And this isn't, like, chat, like, I know I'm getting kind of, this is like a non-issue, right? It's a non-issue. Like, this is like just a direct upgrade. But wait until it gets into, like, the music and stuff.
Cinematic video game, the characters are the assets you'll be looking at the most throughout your experience. And so, the developers have spent a great deal of time updating these models, while still maintaining their underlying facial structure and appearance. This is due largely in part to the retention of all of the pre-existing character animations used in the original PS4 game.
Style-wise, it looks bad. Style-wise, I don't think in general the model upgrades look bad style-wise, but the lighting definitely got fucked. The lighting got fucked.
When the footage is in sync, you'll notice that every underlying skeletal animation to these models will match up pretty much exactly, with the same leg, arm, waist, and head movement retained. This is an understandable decision, as reworking all the character dialogue sequences would be excessive, especially considering most of it holds up pretty well. However, there are plenty of instances where I wish they could have done more. This scene with Josh...
It looks more uncanny, actually, now. It looks so uncanny, doesn't it? Like, it's still, like, a little bit cartoonish on the left. But on the right, like, it's so photorealistic that the janky animations are... Ooh.
For example, feels incredibly dated, as the actor's emotions are essentially only translated through his body movement, with little to no actual animations applied to the face muscles at all. This makes the character look more like Sid from the original Toy Story than Rami Malek, and drops players deep into that uncanny valley that really detracts from the scene. Other characters like Sam seem to be better off, with improvements
maybe if there's a mod to downgrade the remake, maybe then I'd buy it.
It's made to the animation of her eyes that helps give her a more believable appearance. Though that's more or less...
See, like, look at the lighting in the original. Like, I know it's darker, right? But Until Dawn is a dark game. Like, I know that sounds really cliche, right? But, like... is the lighting technically more impressive? Yes, but the atmosphere takes a severe hit.
The extent of the changes that were made, so any weird motion from the past will likely crop up again in this remake. Another interesting change that I feel is worth mentioning now is that a lot of the camera work has been adjusted in the remake as well, allowing players to take in these characters from
Because they added like movable camera angles in the remake. In the remake, you can adjust the camera like while you're actually playing too.
all new perspectives. Nearly every cutscene in the game has brand new camera angles thrown in,
Which fucks up the game as well in some parts.
often opting to focus attention on more crucial details and obscure, otherwise unimportant information. This sequence in the cabin, for example, where you previously could see Josh's character watching the conversation while
It looks so like desaturated, doesn't it? It looks so desaturated. I like how in the original, the lighting feels like comic book horror. There's very high contrast, very bright colors. There's like these neons, these neon highlights.
tending to the fireplace.
It makes me feel nostalgic. This one, the new one, is like a modern horror movie.
has been altered, focusing more on the confrontation between
It feels very like we shot everything during the day and then in post we color graded it to be blue. I don't know, I was like you. Maybe someone forgot to tell them it's supposed to be a horror game?
Mike and Matt.
I believe
New
that.
depth of field effects have also been incorporated, obscuring background environmental detail and keeping the viewer's attention on the subject of the scene more consistently. Other, less flattering wide shots and angles have been changed out too.
I know this is such a nitpick, but I feel like adding the depth of field. I know this is such a nitpick, but when you add depth of field and you make people focus on the characters themselves, people are less worried about like, oh, is something gonna pop up in the background? Right? When you're driving all of the attention onto the characters, it loses the atmosphere of like, oh, like I can see everything that's going on right now. Like, oh shit, like, are one of the fucking Wendigos or something gonna pop up? Like, am I gonna see like the killer? Like, is there something that like I need to be looking for here? Gabriel Lucian, thank you for the 20. For a game with no gameplay, it makes sense to prioritize graphics and textures. The problem is that the remakes are rarely good because the lighting changes, but the camera angles and stuff don't, so it all feels less intentional. They fucking changed the camera angles for when you're playing the game so you can like move the camera around.
And typically, they're
So it's like, it's less stylistic. It's less like the camera is focusing on things that you are supposed to interact with next and like driving you towards your next interaction. And now it's like, it's more of a quote unquote free experience. But that's to a detriment of the gameplay. Why would you do that?
giving the game a more cinematic, movie-like feel. As for the actual quality of the models themselves, there are quite a few nice improvements here as well.
Look at how fucking weird they look. What do you mean improvements, dude? What the fuck do you need improve? Wait, what? Me? What? Bro looks like he has fetal alcohol syndrome.
From the improved facial textures, the light interaction, and poly count, to the fantastic looking fur and hair cards used to accentuate the character's clothing and hairlines. Granted, due to the chosen anti-aliasing methods used in both the PS5 and PC versions, there is quite a bit of jaggedness to these finer details.
The hair looks so weird.
Even at a native 4K resolution on PC. Though, I'd submit that it's
The hair
still
moving
better
looks so
looking than the
weird.
generally flat hair and basic textures that were used before. Next up, we have the environments. As with the character
Look, I think you've never seen such a consistent downgrade in a remake. It's so bad.
models, all the game's environments have been greatly improved upon, thanks to the upgraded hardware, with much more densely populated woodland areas that feel like proper forests now, rather than the more barren appearance of these same areas previously. The tree leaves in particular are much more realistic looking, and do a better job of obscuring those blank spaces off of the main trail. Until Dawn
I think that's
on
fine. I think that works. That makes sense. That works.
PS5 and PC also sees the implementation of ground deformation, which looks fantastic as
That's
players
cool.
follow realistic looking footprints in the snow and leave their own footprints as well. The original game did
That's
have
neat. I like
footprints
that.
too, but they were generally basic textured prints instead, and lacked the sort of depth that you'd expect from deep snow like this. Alongside the vegetation and snow cover, there's also quite a few
Look at how much more interesting. Well, there's a tree blocking, so it's not a fair example right now. Hold on.
alongside
Look at how much more interesting the image is on the left. Why did you change it, bro? Why did you change it? The image on the left is haunting. It's atmospheric. It feels like you're journeying into the abyss. The one on the right, I'm going for a little ski trip this morning. Maniac Bro, thank you. Remakes should be classics, newer tech that better realizes older games' ideas, or unobtainium games. Not a 2015 high fidelity cutscene heavy. I mean, this game was already like all cutscenes. Like let's be 100% clear. Until Dawn is it's a cutscene simulator.
Inside the vegetation and snow cover,
your gameplay means nothing.
Quite
basically,
a few changes to the various decorative assets as well, with large amounts of brand new object models that help to enhance each scene further, without ever changing the underlying style of those locations.
That's
because
nice.
The game now features a new over-the-shoulder camera perspective in place of the previous fixed cameras, each location has seen even more detail added in, with new props and interactive features to really engulf players into the world.
Chat, can I be a hater? You know, in RPGs, it's fun to, like, in little, like, pixel RPGs, it's fun to walk up to stuff. And it's like, oh, I interacted with the sink and it gave me, like, some flavor text. And it's like, oh, some dirty dishes in the sink. I guess you should really get onto that or something. You know, like, I think that works. Because when you're playing, like, a pixel RPG, there's a lot of information that simply cannot be conveyed visually, right? Because you're so severely limited with your graphics. Okay, like you can make visually information dense games, but it's a lot harder, and like it's so not just difficult to pull off, I guess, without creating visual clutter, but also unnecessary, because like you're spending so many resources into making like a custom sink for one character's house that has dirty dishes in it, to portray that a character is a bit of a slacker, right? Compared to like another character, their sink is going to be like pristine and clean or whatever. They're so on top of stuff. Like that development time can be spent elsewhere. I think just the flavor text is enough, and it's fun to interact with. It's fun to explore your environment in pixel RPGs and get these fun little tidbits that tell you more about the world because you're engaging with it, even though you don't necessarily have to. For a game like Until Dawn, I don't understand why you would have interactables. The world of Until Dawn is shown to you very clearly, especially when the camera angles are fixed. There's specific things that the game wants you to see, the game wants you to know about, and they're able to deliver that however they please. I don't know why you would bother to make interactable props in Until Dawn when it's not going to contribute anything to the story. I don't, like, maybe some like little dialogue pop-ups or something will be like, oh, the character messes with this and they're like inquisitive about it, and maybe another character walks up to it and they're like, that's stupid. Like, I don't understand how that could add to the story in any significant way so as to warrant that development time compared to perhaps fleshing out some of these other routes and adjusting some of the character dialogue. And like, there's so many ways you could spend those resources that are so much more meaningful than interactable props and an over-the-shoulder free cam. Like, why would you do that? Why would you waste that time, those resources?
This intro sequence, for example, gives players the freedom to see all that little detail.
Why do you put music that tells you how to feel? Same thing. That's not the same thing at all. That's not the same thing at all. Because a game without music, like, you have to be rage baiting me, or this has to be your most retarded take. Because adding music to the game, okay, that's standard practice. The game already has music, first of all. Okay, the game already has music, and when you add music, like that's creating atmosphere for the overall scene. That's like a cohesive element. Adding optional interactable props that, first of all, didn't need to be there because they wouldn't have been able to really been like interacted with in the original original camera angles anyways. But second of all, they had to be added. This was a game that already existed, and you went back and instead of fleshing out the game more, you added some optional interactable props in the environments. Why? Why?
On the countertops more closely, and adds in small things like the new minibar fridge in this corner, and a camera behind the fireplace that can be inspected. I especially like how some of these spaces, like this basement area, have been expanded slightly, giving the developers a chance to relocate some of those secret totem hints in the process.
Unnecessary.
In my time playing through the opening few chapters, I found an exhaustive list of changes to these locations. So many even, that it wouldn't really be worth recounting them all. But the general
so
takeaway
fucking
here
unnecessary.
is that the remake does maintain the vision of the original environments while enhancing them further, with detail that makes these locations feel even more believable than before.
The locations were already great. You didn't need to change them. You didn't need to add anything to them. Nothing needed to be changed about the locations.
Another major change that can be found in the remake is to the lighting design. Until Dawn's lighting remains baked into the environments just as before. But the quality of that lighting
The remake was probably just to pad out the games or lack thereof on the PS5. Makes sense.
is significantly improved with this release, with some changes made to more properly pace the game's cinematic narrative, while also incorporating new, more advanced techniques like ray trace reflections, shadows, and ambient occlusion. For the most part, this does look great, and really stands out in stark contrast to the often basic lighting design offered in the original. The dark, wooded areas illuminated by the player's flashlight look especially good in the remake, whereas in the original, that flashlight itself doesn't seem to illuminate much via bounce lighting as it should.
I do think the flashlight's an upgrade.
But it's not perfect either, as I found several instances where the lighting didn't function properly, and shadows would even incorrectly flicker, a glitch that seemed to occur regardless of whether I was using ray traced effects or upscale options. I do also love the new late evening lighting used during this sequence with Sam, as it gives a better sense of time changing as the story progresses, and also feels...
I can respect that opinion. However, I disagree with it. I do understand like the nice part about having the early day lighting or earlier in the day lighting conveys that like, oh, like everybody just got there and like this is the start and it's like soon the timer is about to be ticking. However, I like the original better because the timer already is ticking from your perspective, right? It's already nighttime. Danger could be around any corner. There's so many like near death, quote unquote, like fake outs in the beginning of Until Dawn that are not going to have as much weight if they're in broad daylight. Why would you change them? The atmosphere was already perfect. Why would you change it?
It's more authentic for the scenario, as it was...
I do think this warm lighting would be great like at the end of the game. When it is dawn, but like at the beginning, why would you do that? Why would you do that? It takes away like the anxiety of like, oh, it's nighttime and this is a horror game. Ooh, what could happen? Ooh.
Always a bit strange seeing this group of friends decide to arrive at this mountainside cabin after the sun had already set. But one could argue...
I disagree. I think that's very normal to have happen, actually. I think it's very normal to get somewhere at night and then you stay the night and then like the next day is like the actual activity time, yay.
That this gives the intro sequence less of that horror tone as well, and other miscellaneous effects like fire, particles,
nice.
and the like have seen improvements as well. The
Despite
exterior snow
remake faces also look worse. They look so much worse.
has seen its particle density greatly increased, which helps to really sell that blizzard feel for the intense chase sequences outside. There's also new snow particles that will stick to the character's hair and clothing that stands out nicely.
Traffic happens. Extremely normal when the sun sets at like 5 or earlier in the upper latitudes in winter. Yeah, exactly.
When compared to similar effects used before.
It's not like you're under the impression, oh, they arrived at the middle of the night. It's like, oh no, it's nighttime and it's winter. Ooh, scary.
As far as the general gameplay is concerned, Until Dawn should play more or less the same as the original. The story is nearly identical from what I could tell, with the only exception being some minor artistic updates to that intro sequence, including a change to the prank moment that feels more like a music video than a proper prologue. The title sequence has also been altered, with a brand new title song and accompanying video images that seems to give it more of a James Bond feel that doesn't seem to match the tonal direction of the game as well as before. Though, once you get past this, the narrative seems to match up beat for beat, with no changes to any of the dialogue branches from what I've seen.
Why?
A lot of the secret totems are in new
you about to
areas,
take a 5
and
PPs?
there are a few more small environmental details hidden throughout
Thank you,
that can be explored more
thank you.
thoroughly thanks to the reworked third-person camera. But it's otherwise an identical experience from a gameplay perspective. And the added options to tweak QuickTime event speed, size, difficulty, and other smaller settings is a nice touch. Finally, let's wrap up with a brief sound comparison.
Here's where it gets bad.
Which game do you feel has the superior audio quality and design?
Oh, this part's fine. This is inoffensive. I still prefer the original, but it's not terrible. But there's a part later. There's a part later that's really bad. OST ruins it. Well, I mean, this is the original and it has music. The original had music at parts.
Nice shooting tits.
All right, I'm bad. I'm a badass.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess it was a wild case of beginner's luck.
Nah, I don't think so, girl.
I actually think this part is better. This part sounds better. I hate the dialogue in these games either way. I know!
Nice shooting tits.
All right, I'm bad. I'm a badass.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess it was a wild case of beginner's luck.
Nah, I don't think
God, the
so,
animations
girl.
look so weird with the fancy
I don't think we
models.
can get up to the cabin with a path block like this.
Oh, no way am I going back to the lodge, aka Wax Museum, to drink.
Jess! Fuck! Hey, Jessica!
Yep. Hey. Okay.
Holy crap, you scared the heck out of me.
How do you think I felt?
You didn't hit your head or anything.
As far as I can tell, I still have all 7 of my limbs.
Yeah. Can you get out?
I don't know. I can hardly see anything down here.
All right, coming after you. Just stay put.
Hey, handsome. Want to help me move this cart thing?
I feel bad not talking, but I don't want to interrupt the...
I don't think we can get up to the cabin with a path block like this.
Oh, no way am I going back to the lodge, aka Wax Museum, to drink hot chocolate with Emily. You know what? Fuck it. We're adventurous. We will find another way around.
The animations look so bad! The animations look fine, right? With the original models, because they're like a little bit more... They're lower quality, right? So it's not as jarring. You're not looking at like a real person moving. But with the new animations, it's like, oh my god. This looks like a skit somebody made.
Jess! Fuck! Hey, Jessica!
Yep. Hey. Okay.
Holy crap, you scared the heck out of me.
How do you think I felt?
You didn't hit your head or anything.
As far as I can tell, I still have all 7 of my limbs.
Yeah. Can you get out?
I don't know. I can hardly see anything down here.
The remake sounds so much flatter.
All right, coming after you. Just stay put.
And like the scare is like barely acknowledged. It's less like It's like they tried to make it like, oh, this game's not campy. We're not campy. We don't have dramatic violin sound effects or anything. No, it's less. It's not. It's like this is like realistic. No, it's not. No, it's not. Go back to the fun.
Hey, handsome. Want to help me move this cart thing?
I'm going to
But-
give you 10 seconds. 9.
No,
Hey.
no, 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 no.
I do think the loud crunch is better.
Please, no.
Sam.
Shit.
So many people clicking onto the stream thinking I'm gonna play video games. Joke's on you. I'm just gonna complain about them. Snow is that loud. It is. I love the sound design. I love the music. I love all the sound effects. The lighting is perfect. Everything here is already great. There is no reason to change any of this. It feels like a horror movie. Like a classic horror movie. A good horror movie.
Are you kidding me? No handle?
That part was like a little bit dark. That part was a little bit dark. But
No. Please, no. Shit.
audio balancing is weird. It is weird. It made his mask look more expensive. Yeah. Everything is so sparkly, yeah. It does have like a weird glitteriness to it. Awful camera remake. Awful camera angles in the remake. It's the time between lines, events, and the remake are quicker. Personally, I think it removes some of the tension compared to the original.
Are you kidding me? No handle?
Like, the song isn't as scary either. Why did you change the song? What was the purpose in changing the song?
Get out!
What was the reason for it? The song was already
And that wraps
good.
up this episode of Direct Comparison.
Think it's a copyright issue? I don't know.
Overall, the Until Dawn remake
Why
is
is
an
it
okay
sparkling?
experience for the PC and a slightly subpar experience on the PlayStation 5. It's perfectly playable for either platform, and it's still
I gotta show you guys. There's like a part with the Wendigos at the end. I swear this is the last. This is my last tangent, and then we'll get into the. Oh wait, will this show the audio differences though?
Don't fucking leave us.
This is not gonna show the audio differences. Detective, thank you. My favorite part about this game was Dr. Hill. He was not necessarily Zoomed in the game, it was just mysterious to the game. They don't show the... There's no, like... Wait, hold on. I think this video has it. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know in which part in the video. Wait, here we go. I think it's over here. Hold on.
But this is what it
Last
sounds
tangent,
like
last
in the
tangent.
remake.
What?
Yes, that is actually what they changed it to. In what world does that sound like a punch? And then there are other instances where it feels like the sound effect they used doesn't fit the context of the scene. A perfect example is when Matt sees Mike and remembers he saw him with Emily. This is what it sounds like in the original.
What's up, party people?
Hi.
Hey!
Pretty normal. And then there's the remake.
What's up, party people?
Hi.
Hey!
My god, you'd think Mike just murdered his family or something with how dramatic it sounds.
Why? Why? But did it really think you said things? There are people on YouTube who could make better cut them scenes themselves with AI for a fraction of the cost. You don't need AI for this. You don't need AI with any of this because nothing needed to be changed from the start. You don't need to change anything. Just port the fucking game. Port the fucking game, dude. Don't change anything.
I even noticed an instance in the remake where it seems like they removed the original sound effect and just forgot to replace it with anything, so there's just no sound. They even removed the Psycho's creepy Vader-like breathing from the original, and I really don't understand why.
Why get rid of it?
Even the Wendigos don't sound quite as scary to me in the remake either.
Everything is so like, it's so backwards in the remake. It's like everything that should be dramatic is either muted entirely or changed to have like a softer sound. And then everything that should be like quiet or like atmospheric, like they make really fucking loud and dramatic. And it's like, why did you do this? Agobong Ring of the Soul is gone. It is. They changed it from like a harsh velociraptor scream to like an angry cat.
I also noticed the remake's lack of ambient effects and tense music while in gameplay compared to the original. I'll show you a couple specific examples of what I'm talking about.
I think this actually kind of works. I think this works. I think getting rid of the music here works.
Walking through this area with Sam in the original, you hear the distant scream of Wendigos, the wind howling, and the build-up with this tense background music. All these things help create the atmosphere. Going through this area in the remake, it's so silent apart from the music, there's no Wendigo screams, and the music doesn't feel nearly as tense as the original counterpart. In this next example, the remake version doesn't even have background music, sapping so much of the tension out of this moment as well. These may
That part though, why did they change that? Why did they change that? They fucking bird. And they removed one of the scares. Oh, but Pippa, jump scares are cheap. Bro, shut the fuck up. Hey, Yagi, thank you for the PP. Detective Null Void, thank you. Original for sound remake? Original for sound, remake for visuals? No, just original in general. The 1 hour Until Dawn segment with Dr. Hill is like a night and day difference. Boom Kage, thank you. A conspiracy theory is that everyone who actually knew how to do direction, sound design, and lighting retired and they didn't teach the next generation. I feel like it's all very public normie version of that Jesus fresco getting restored. I'm an expert, I swear.
They seem like small things, but they add up, especially in a horror game where sound design is super important. If they were just gonna make it worse, I'd rather them not mess with it at all. The second major change that, to me, undermines part of what made the original Until Dawn so great is the camera. The remake does away with the fixed camera angles in favor of a third-person over-the-shoulder camera throughout the game, likely in an attempt to make the game feel more modern. The original Until Dawn used fixed camera angles as not only an homage to classic survival horror games, but also to further support the game feeling like a playable movie and giving it that cinematic feel. Every camera angle is intentionally and deliberately placed to establish a mood or feeling within the player.
Okay, well now he's talking about the camera, but anyways, let's get to today's game.